She was supposed to be just like an unassuming bystander, man. Now you're telling me she did it? That's so weird. I like had no reason to think of her. I thought for sure it was gonna be Altamont. Like, bring the B-man back in here. Joyful, jubilant, jumping jacks!
Oh, Mr. Natsume, I'm so pleased for you.
Locum student Miss Naruhodo Esquire, and non-locum judicial assistant Miss Mikotoba Esquires. Now, finally, at long last there can be proof that I'm innocent and proof that my tea is innocent.
Ah, good morning, my dear fellows.
Ah, Herlock Sholmes! May you drink my tepid tea and fall forever silent.
I thought the tea was innocent.
Oh, Mr. Sholmes, you came! How wonderful!
Please, save your derisions. I know what you're all thinking. Good morning, he says, when it's very nearly time for luncheon. Your scorn is written clearly across our faces. Nobody said or thought anything of the sort. Truth is, I was determined that today would be the day. As sleep seduced me last night, I thought, tomorrow for once, I shall not oversleep. I'll rise early and be present in court to support my companions. Such spirit determination has a beauty all on its own, does it not?
Oh, yes.
And then I began to muse on the subject. Why do people oversleep? I queried. Why, time after time, do they make the same foolish blunder? And the answer came to me at once. It's so delightfully simple. People oversleep because they sleep. Well, is that not an astute insight into the matter?
Oh, yes.
Upon which realization, I attempted an experiment. I didn't sleep a wink last night. And the results? By first light, I was exhausted and began to be assailed by fits of drowsiness. Shocking. And so, the conclusion of last night's experiment is this. A good night's sleep is quite simply essential. Yes, I think most of us probably knew that already. What others presuppose I prove by experimentation? That, my dear fellow, is a scientific method. Ah yes, and one more thing. You remember this.
Oh, did you examine it? Is it strychnine? I forgot you took it.
Yes, of course. It's the poison that Miss Green was about to drink at the hospital yesterday.
Oh, you didn't manage to.
It was a laborious task, as the bottle was nearly empty, but such inconveniences do not hinder Miss Sholmes. I managed to confirm that it contained strychnine. Starchnine? Whatever. I was right. Perhaps. Though of course, such circumstantial evidence doesn't prove Miss Green's guilt. I shall leave the bottle in your care now. But licking the inside of the neck is not recommended. So you're the one who told us. So now that you've tested that there's strychnine, is the court gonna accept that the findings of that, or is it gonna be another one of those? The detective isn't the fucking police. He can't tell us shit. Can I have a word? Who's this? Oh, hello, Gregson. How good of you to come. Forget it. Excuse me. Oh, wait a minute, Inspector. Come back. I don't wish to make a nuisance of myself. Looks at your face. I'd say it's someone else who you think is making a nuisance of himself. My dear Inspector, please, speak freely. Pretend that I'm not here. Believe me, or Mario, if I could do that, life would be a whole lot simpler for me.
Do you have the results, Inspector, of the investigation of Mr. Shamspier's room?
Not yet. Shouldn't be long now, though. No, I'm here about something else. That dead convict, actually. Oh, you mean the man from this newspaper article we discovered yesterday in Mr. Shamspier's room?
A man by the name of... Ah yes, Selden.
I went through the archives at the yard and dug out the fellow's file. There's something in there that, well, caught my eye. What's that picture?
Something caught your eye. What, Inspector? What? I want to see it. What caught your eye? I want to see.
I've copied out the relevant parts for you, so you can read it for yourself. Ooh, give it to me. Yeah. Thank you. Hey, yeah, let's fucking go. I want to read. I'm gonna read. I'm reading. Scotland Yard's file about the convicted criminal Selden that includes the newspaper article about him dying of illness in prison. 18 counts of burglary, 6 counts of suspected murder, died of natural causes while in prison, his final moments witnessed by his cellmate. Estimated 1,000 pounds worth of loot he still remains uncovered. Manchester Strange announced the death of convicted murderer and burglar Selden by natural causes. Eh? In the early hours, he's been suffering with the fever since the end of October, lured by the shouts. What? That's not new. This is new. This is the only thing? Investigative findings related to Selden. 18 counts of burglary, 6 counts of suspected murder, died of natural causes while in prison. His final moments witnessed only by his cellmates. The estimated 1,000 pounds of worth of loot he stole remains uncovered. This ain't fun to read. I thought there was gonna be something interesting. I just really want to see that picture. I can't see it. Ooh, bottle so dark. Oh, here. See the bottom of the fucking bottle. This is the poison we've been hearing so much about. Strychnine, whatever it's pronounced. There are a few remnants on the bottom of the bottle here. Look.
You mustn't be tempted to try it.
Of course not. As long as we don't lose this trial. Oh my god.
No! Even if we lose a trial! No! We mustn't lose a trial in the first place, Mr. Naruhodo!
Make your mind up, Susato-san. Don't mess with her like that. Okay.
These documents include the details that were in the newspaper cuttings we found in Mr. Shamspier's room. I'll rearrange everything in the court record so we don't have duplicate information.
Why are you giving us a copy of this important file? Well, you're the one who turned up the clue in the first place, aren't you? I'm just making sure things get handled in the proper fashion.
Oh, Scotland Yard's workings are so wonderful.
Indeed, my dear fellows. And the inspector here is a shining diamond in the crown. What? Whatever, I said that wrong. Shining diamond in the rough, maybe. Look, I just don't want to be beholden to a lawyer, that's all. Greg-san, you're such a nice guy. Counsel for defense and defendant. Wait, so did anything change? Literally nothing changed from that. Damn it, Susato, you made me bring my hopes up. Oh wait, does that mean that he got rid of the newspaper clipping? Oh, it did. Oh yeah, he got rid of the newspaper clipping. Yeah. Court proceedings are about to resume. Make your way into the courtroom at once. Well, I shall leave you then. I'll be listening with the interest from the public gallery. Not nodding off at all. Certainly not. Thank you, Mr. Sholmes. I'm rather tired of seeing Mr. Mustache in a flood of tears, personally, so best of luck to you two. Welcome, student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire! I forgot he was here. Yes, Mr. Natsume? It's time, isn't it? Yes, this is it. Miss Olive Green and Mr. William Shamspere. This is going to be the final battle. I won't really have saved Soseki-san until I've exposed the whole truth of everything that's been going on. But it's all coming to a head now. You can do it, Ryunosuke. You have to. But I still wonder why they felt like they had to keep this case a secret, though, right? Because in the first game, they had brought no mention of it, and then in this game, they were like, oh my god, the second case Soseki-san was a part of that we never mentioned? So what's the deal? In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session again now. For the recess, we heard a most startling accusation from the defense. Namely, that the victim of the case we heard here only a few days ago is the true perpetrator of the incident. A reckless, rash, and prejudiced charge of wrongdoing, in my opinion, my lord. However, the prosecution has tried to extend every courtesy to this amateur newcomer from dubious eastern shores. Thank you. It's not something you fucking thank for that backhanded consideration. Why'd you fucking thank him then, you idiot? Rather cold assessment from the honorable British prosecutor, I must say. This is like, stop being so fucking racist, you weirdo. The Lord Van Zeeks, the new witness present and ready to take the stand. Ready and waiting in the witness's antechamber, my lord. Very well. Bailiff, bring the witnesses in. Witnesses? Oh, I guess he's considered a witness. Oh my gosh, she's painting. Witnesses, state your name and occupations for the court, please. William Shamspere, my liege. For mine occupation, I can say only that I be a tragic victim, to be pitied.
currently unemployed, in other words.
I'm Olive Green. I'm a fledgling artist. Well, no. Not a fledgling, really. Hopeless failure who's too weak-spirited to admit she has no talent, I suppose.
Also currently unemployed, in other words. What a coterie? Coterie? Oh, Mr. Shamspear.
My lord, I am thy humble servant.
I'm afraid that you are no longer merely the victim in this affair. Possibility has been raised that you are in fact the assailant, intent on taking the life of your fellow lodger. The part you have played in this whole business will be thoroughly scrutinized, I assure you.
I would for naught else, my lord.
And Miss Green,
Yes?
you are aware of the reason you have been summoned to this courtroom today, I presume.
Yes, the officer did explain.
Oh,
You said I poisoned this ridiculous buffoon?
and do you accept that charge, Miss Green?
I don't know anything about any poisoning. And I don't know anything about this man.
Come, lady, die to live. Verily, I know not thy prickly pea-pigmented personage. Maybe she wasn't trying to kill him? Maybe she's trying to kill someone else?
Very well, let us proceed with the matter at hand. That being, to ascertain whether or not Miss Green had any involvement in this affair.
It's all very strange. Very strange indeed. Why would you suspect me? I barely ever go to the East End anyway. It so happened that I passed by that neighborhood 6 days ago, that's all. And on the night that this man was poisoned, I was still in the hospital fighting for my life.
Yes, having been unfortunately caught up in the incident on the street outside of the Garadeb household. An incident that rendered you unconscious for some 3 days.
I was struck in the middle of my back by a knife, through no fault of my own, and now I'm under suspicion? What other irrelevant things might I be suspected of? It's all very disturbing.
Your energies may be better spent worrying about random knife attacks, I feel, Miss Green.
Well, I mean, she's not gonna see them coming. What's she gonna do? Always look around and up? At this point in time, all that appears to connect you with Mr. Shamspear's lodging is the Briar Road incident 6 days ago. That's why. We would like you to testify formally now about exactly what happened.
Oh no! That isn't 6 days ago! You mean you want me to relive that awful accident?
Unfortunately, yes. Please tell the court what happened on that day. And of course, we will be interested to hear from you about your movements that day too, Mr. Shamspear. Eh? But what happened 6 days ago has nothing to do with me being poisoned.
Let us proceed then. The witnesses will present their formal testimony to the court. On the subject of the incident that took place on Briar Road the evening of the 17th of February.
Okay. This is a weird duo.
It was 6 days ago, at about 5 p.m. I was walking alone in the snow, when all of a sudden I was stabbed in the back. Coincidentally, it happened to just be outside the house where the men in this case have their lodgings.
Are you putting your dirty brush against your face? I was at the tavern on the eve of which thou speakst for. I had bespoke my supper.
It was the first time I'd been in the area. I had a little matter to attend to, that's all. Anyway, I was admitted straight to the hospital, so I knew nothing about all this business.
Good testimony.
Yes, the second incident inside a week of what I believe to be aptly described as the haunted lodgings. One can only presume that this is a most unfortunate coincidence.
Meanwhile, you say you were not in your room, Mr. Shamspear? 'Twas the following morning when I did awaken that I learned of the dire events. Mary, what a commotion did the officers of the law make on the floor above mine! When Soseki-san was arrested on suspicion of attempted murder. As suspected, There is nothing connecting these two witnesses but happenstance. It's true. It does seem as though they're unrelated at first glance. But I'm not so sure. There's something lurking in the shadows here. I feel certain of it. And this is my one and only chance to expose it. Counsel, you now cross-examine these two witnesses of your wish. Yes, my lord. Okay. What are we gonna find out, man? I don't even know what to find out. So the idea is that the letter was given to her by him, by Shamspear. He was at the tavern or wherever it was, waiting to meet up with her to talk about something? I know the truth about something? Or whatever it was. We don't have that letter, right? Yeah, we don't have that letter on us. But there's something about meeting here. But for what? Like, determine who killed... Was he gonna tell her who killed Duncan? Or something? Or like, I'm well acquainted with the case. I'm sorry you had to go through that.
It was awful. I still can't believe I was unconscious for so long. And I woke up to find that the case had been solved and the culprit arrested.
Yes, the incident has been resolved already. Perhaps it would help you to consider it a bad dream that ended with your awakening, and should now be forgotten. You can't just forget something like that, man.
Yes, I suppose so. Thank you.
But before you put it completely behind you, Miss Green, I need you to remember the details one last time. You must tell the court exactly what happened that day, for us to arrive at the truth about this new case.
The trouble is, there's nothing to tell, really. I was just walking along the pavement. Coincidentally, it happened to just be outside the house where the men in this case have their lodgings.
What were you doing there that day, though?
What do you mean?
The art school you attend. What's it called?
Yes. It's the Thorndike Academy of Fine Arts. According to Mr. Sholmes, that's just in the vicinity of Brixton Road, which is some 10 stops away from the scene of the underground.
I believe you mentioned before that you also live on Brixton Road. Isn't that right? So why then would you have been walking along Briar Road in the middle of the East End?
Well, it's because, yes, of course. I thought it would make for a nice picture.
The witness is a student of art. City-dwelling artists can't all paint grand urban vistas.
That's right. I happen to like the crumbling look of that part of town. Perhaps quaint would have been a less grating term.
The point is, she's definitely hiding something.
Yes, it seems she's not going to be forthcoming with the truth.
She's trying to hide why she was there that evening. It must mean there's a reason for her not wanting us to know. That's the key to this. And you, Mrs. Shamspear, on the evening of the incident 6 days ago, would you tell the court what exactly you were doing?
It would be my pleasure, sire.
A tavern, you say? Which one?
'Twas the Slug and Salad where I did tarry. 'Tis a jewel in the East End.
And a little unexpected, I feel. What do you mean, Lord Benzies? This Slug and Salad offer unusually fine dining, for the locality at least. Not an establishment you'd expect to be patronized by a man with not even a crumb of bread in his room.
Oh, it's a fancy place. Oh, bitch! Oh, he got money?
It's true. The menu lists premium crusts of bread and glasses of water, in different levels of cloudiness.
I would have expected Grub's Grubbery in the local vicinity to be more appropriate for your meals. Watery soup and mushy peas. Or rather, soupy water and pea-like mush. I mean, don't get at the man for being poor, but all equally appetizing.
I just wanted to try some water at a different pub for once. What's wrong with that?
How different can water really be?
Or perhaps there's a more plausible explanation. A specific reason why he had to go to that particular establishment.
Agreed. The fact that on that day of all days, He dined at a place he wouldn't normally. It does stand out. It was the Shamsphere's own action on the day of the incident 6 days ago were slightly suspicious. I wonder if we have some evidence that can explain these actions. I don't think I have anything. Why do I have this? Do I need this for something? Why do I even have this? Okay, I don't think we're ready to present this yet, because I don't think they've, like, caught on what this is. Right? They don't know what this is. I know what it is, but I don't think they know what it is. So I don't think we have anything yet. I wish we did, but sadly I can't think of anything at the moment.
If we find a clue that could explain why Mr. Shamsphere went there, we must present it to the court.
Yes, absolutely.
That's all on this matter, Counsel. I would ask Miss Green to reiterate her next statement.
I just, like, maybe she has more to say?
It was the first time I'd been in the area. I had a little matter to attend to. Blah, 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 blah.
Oh, is this where we get the letter, maybe? What little matter, Miss Green? Please elaborate.
It was nothing, really.
It's not worth mentioning. You remember, you mentioned it to us yesterday at the hospital. It was related to the card you were holding. Miss Green! What was that? She was clearly just hit something behind her back. From memory, I believe the card contained a note that read, I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross. Oh, it specifically said the death. Okay.
Well, what does that matter? This has nothing to do with Duncan.
Yes? Shut up! Mr. Shamsphere, do you have something to share with the court? To be or not to be? That is the question. Ah, pray forgive me. The great bard's word springeth from within me with ne'er a thought. Don't tell me, because you're possessed by Shakespeare's spirit, right? Hearing Miss Green's words a moment ago seemed to make you think of something. Something of relevance, perhaps? Nay, sire. This was nothing at all. Presumably, you know the name, though. Mr. Duncan Ross, I mean? After all, you were both lodgers in the same house. I would it were so, but sadly, nay. Lodging be a lonely occupation, sire. My lodging fellows be rarely known to me. You haven't heard of him, even though he passed away in the room just one floor above yours.
Miss Green.
Me, my lord? Have I done something wrong?
Part that was mentioned before, containing the note. You have it upon your person.
I do, yes, but I don't need it anymore. In fact, I should sure throw it away, really.
Before you dispose of it, the court will check it as evidence, please.
There we go, we finally got it, goddamn. Of course, that's what links Mr. Shamsphere and Miss Green. It's Duncan Ross.
Now, continue with the testimony, please, Miss Green.
Anyway, I was admitted straight to the hospital, so I knew nothing of the sorts of
Oops. It was, I was at the tavern on the eve. It was this one, right? Okay. I want to read the note. Note in the envelope that seems to have been ripped open rather roughly. It contains instructions to meet with someone who claims to have information about Duncan Ross. The envelope has been ripped open rather carelessly, hasn't it? Miss Green strikes me as the type to open correspondence more neatly than that.
What is it?
The way the envelope is torn, I'm almost sure I've seen the exact same shape somewhere else.
Oh, you don't mean... Were you thinking of this piece of evidence, Mr. Naruhodo?
Exactly. That's it. Try to match them up.
Whee! They go together perfectly. This torn off end of the envelope clearly belongs to this card.
So, this was originally... This was originally... Sorry. This was originally opened by Shamspear, right? Hence why they were talking about how it was opened really roughly. It was found in his room, and then he gave it to her? Or he mailed it to her? Like, we'll see. Oops. How to press. Go to the part where it says present evidence. Or present that. Oh wait. 1 second. Was I able to examine the card? No, I can't. Okay. I'm actually surprised that it doesn't tell you. It doesn't tell you the contents of the card anywhere? Ah, whatever. But I know it has like a meeting place and time or something. Mr. Shamspear. Yes, sire? On the day in question, is it not the case that you visited the Slug and Salad, a place you don't normally patronize, for a very particular reason? I don't know what you're talking about. Pray, if thou hast a purpose, speak it. Very well. I will present the court with evidence. Evidence that explains why you had to be at the Slug and Salad that day. Namely, I believe this card reveals the answer. Good lord, Miss Green's card, you mean? That's right, my lord. It reads, I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross. Come to the Slug and Salad on Briar Road at 5 p.m. on the 17th. Don't tell anybody else about this letter or the meeting. It is a matter of utmost importance. Mr. Shamspear, your actions on the afternoon of Miss Green's stabbing are exactly as described in this note. Personally, I find it hard to believe that's a coincidence. Don't you, Mr. Shamspear? Well...
Excuse me, can I say something?
Yes, Miss Green?
That card was delivered to me. It doesn't have anything to do with this odd man, does it?
It was delivered to you, you say, but was it delivered to you opened? Bitch, it was open in his room. Well, you think so, yes, but it's hard to believe that it's merely...
My lord, may I?
Are you what, Miss Green? Fucking leave?
I'd like to make something very clear about that card.
Very well then. You may amend your testimony to include details about the peculiar note.
This note was delivered to me at my address. It's nothing to do with the odd man next to me here.
Is it enough that I just present this? Why did this need to be a... Okay, whatever. Day before the incident, exactly 1 week ago now, this note was delivered to your address. And upon carrying out the instructions in the note, you found yourself in the hospital.
Yes, I did. It's terrible, everything that's happened to me.
Yes, it is terrible. If it's all true, that is.
What do you mean?
Miss Green, have a look at this, please. It's the torn off end of an envelope.
Oh, is it?
And it so happens that it fits together perfectly with the envelope of the note you received.
Where did you find that?
In Mrs. Shamspear's room. In my room? Mr. Shamspear, do you perhaps remember this note from somewhere? Well... Your actions that afternoon followed the instructions in the note to the letter. Come to the Slug and Salad on Briar Road at 5 p.m. on the 17th. And so that's exactly where you went. I still don't understand what's happening here. Let me ask you again, Mr. Shamspear. You already knew about this note, didn't you? You wrote it, right, probably? And you, Miss Green.
What did I do?
as his torn off end of the envelope proves. The note was originally in Mr. Shamsphere's room. So how is it that it came to be in your possession?
I don't have the first idea. I'm just a fledgling artist after all.
There's only one explanation. You broke into Mr. Shamsphere's room and stole it. You did what? Sorry, thou hast what? You thou were in my room? What on earth do you want with me?
How would she even know about the note?
We're seeing that both witnesses need to testify again.
What the fuck?
Miss Green,
Yes?
whilst you have the court's sympathy, I'm sure, for the suffering you have endured in recent events, anyone found to be given false testimony in a court of law will be duly punished. Please bear that in mind. Oh! It looks like a clip? It almost looks like the Eiffel Tower? Or it's, in the first game, wasn't there, they were talking about a tower or something that was in the works, or wasn't it like a sentry, no, festive tower, no, it was like something about a tower, right? There was like advertisements for it or something. They were talking about a tower that the government had been working on building or something for a really long time. Is that what that is on her hair? The head thing? That little thing that's sticking out? I don't fucking know. Yes, I know. Whatever. Oh, no.
Very well then, witnesses. You will give formal testimony again, now. On the subject of this curious anomaly regarding the note Miss Green claims to have received.
Yeah, I'm still like confused about this. What's happening here? Cause like, why would Shamsphere care about the death of Duncan Ross? Oh, he must have been the one to do it. He did it. Duh. Fucking idiot. He knew about the note. I mean, or rather, he knew about how he died, like what happened. But how would she know? I do remember now. 'Twas a week ago, pre-adventure, that note was delivered unto me. Or per-adventure? On the day with therein, I did tarry a long hour at the Slug and Salad, yet nobody came. Thereafter, on the evening, I shared the company of the Japanese fellow. I did see the note had vanished.
I don't know what you mean. You think I snuck into this man's room, did you? Why would I? I can point out the villain here. And as for that torn off piece of envelope, I don't know anything about it. What?
You now claim to have received this letter, do you, Mr. Shamsphere?
Faith, 'tis so, my lord. And I would swear to have set it upon the table in my humble lodgings. And yet, 'tis clear to me now that since I returned to the from the tavern that night, I have not laid eyes upon it.
Well, that being the case, young lady, it would appear to your testimony.
Oh, wait a minute, no. Oh, wait a minute. Did she mail him the letter? She mailed him the letter, he opened it, and he went to the Slug and Salad to wait for her. But what she did was she took the time while he was gone to go in to his place, to do the poison and then steal the letter so that there was no evidence of him needing to meet with anybody? Is that what it is? Maybe? Maybe?
Did I read this line? Well, that be the case, young lady, it would appear that your testimony was...
A lie? Is that what you think? How unfair of you to think that I'm the one lying.
I beg your pardon?
I'm just a fledgling artist, as I said, and fledgling artists don't lie. That note was delivered to me at my address. Besides, we all know who the liar around here is.
If that's true, Miss Green, how do you explain the facts? This part of the envelope was, without question, found in Mr. Shamsphere's room.
I don't see why I should explain.
Sorry?
I'm a fledgling artist. My job here is to just say what happened, that's all. It's your job to give the explanations and the proofs. You, the fledgling lawyer.
So difficult, what the fuck? The fledgling will do his best. Evidently, my learned friend's cross-examination is our only hope of learning the truth.
Earl, counsel?
I'm ready, my lord. Very well, the defense will now proceed with the cross-examination of the witnesses.
Miss Green clearly did break into Mr. Shakespeare's room. There can be no question of that. And that's how she acquired the note.
Yes, two facts that are starting to lead me to a possible explanation for all of this. And it's not a pretty one.